You are listening to the Shakedown Show. And okay, Giants fans, we got New York Giants cornerback Prince Amukamara on the phone. Prince, thank you for coming in, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
I'm gonna introduce you to the other co-hosts and the host Shakes, and we got Black Friday and we got Roll. We're gonna ask you a couple of questions, man.
Got you.
Appreciate you, young
Right.
fella.
Hey, what's going on, Prince? It's whole Shakes.
Oh, Shake?
Yeah, look, I had talked to you on BBK one time. I don't know if you remember. I was one of the callers that asked you a question. I asked you to give me 5 interceptions that year.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and you ain't give it to me, man. What happened?
Man, I was definitely on the roll. I had three in 8 games, and then I got hurt the eight games.
Yeah, I know.
So I think that's what stopped it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Good looking out.
No problem.
Brody, Black Friday, you want to introduce yourself?
How Hey, Prince Amukamara, how you doing? It's Rolly, one of the co-hosts of the Shakedown show. Yeah, just like you were saying, I mean, you know, you were on your road to having a good season, and when I saw you in training camp, I told you that, you know, hopefully you'll be the guy on that team to have the highest interceptions, but obviously you got injured. How difficult was it for you to know that you were having such a great season and then all of a sudden you just, you know, had to be out with an injury?
I mean, it was extremely frustrating, but one of the reasons was because the Pro Bowl was back here in my hometown, in my backyard in Arizona, and I was excited to get back here and play, you know, in front of my family and friends, and one of my goals is to be the number one corner on the team. A couple of years last year, I played with Corey Webster. He was known as the number one corner, and then this year we had DRC, and he was known as the number one corner. So just always trying to beat them out and to get that assignment. Hey Prince, you go guard Calvin Johnson. Hey Prince, you go follow Jeremy Macklin or Deshaun Jackson around, or Des Bryant. And I finally got that assignment, and I was doing well, but I mean, anytime you have injuries, it kind of feels like like you take a step backwards, and like I said, that was frustrating. But I'm so glad that it's just a bicep instead of anything that has to do with my legs or anything like that.
So, and how are you? Speaking of the injury, how are you as far as the rehab?
It's coming along great. I should be 100% by March.
Perfect. Okay.
Beautiful. Yeah, what's going on, Prince? This is Black Friday, Shakedown Show. How you doing, young fella?
I'm doing great. How'd you get your name, Black Friday?
I basically got it because I'm a producer, and that was one of the names that was thrown around when I was selling all of the different things that I was selling out there as far as music was concerned, because I was letting everything go like it was a wholesale.
It kind of sounds like a battle rap name. Hey, yo, we got Black Friday on the map.
Yeah. No doubt. I did some of that too, though. But yeah. This season, it seems like your ball skills got extremely better this season. Who could you say, or what did you do to contribute to that being better? Because you did catch, you know, a pretty good amount of interceptions this season prior to the injury. So how did you go about that process?
Thanks for noticing. Coach Genta, he was my cornerbacks coach, my position coach. The Giants just let him go this past year, but he told me that I should pick up juggling, and I never juggled before, and so I looked on YouTube, because YouTube teaches you pretty much how to do anything, and it was just a lot of trial and error, and then I finally got it. And so juggling helps with your hand-eye coordination, and then the balls are smaller, So it really just works on your focus, and then and I really think that helped me a lot.
Okay.
All right. Good deal.
Okay. J-Rob?
All right. Let me ask you, what expectations do you have for next season for yourself and the team?
Man, you know what? I would love to get into double-digit picks. I think that hasn't been done and I think I would love to accomplish that, and definitely return some touchdowns. Return some touchdowns back because I have a couple of dances that I wanna get out there and start doing. So
you want to celebrate,
and I've always,
celebrate.
And I've always had them, but I always told myself I'm gonna do it as soon as I get in the end zone, but I've never been able to get in the end zone. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm just gonna settle. Every time I get a pick, I'm just gonna do something. Then I mean, like, 'cause you see like the receivers, the quarterbacks, for example, like Cam Newton. Every time he gets a first down, he does a little thing. Anytime Victor gets a first down, he does Victor Cruz. I mean, he does his little thing, and then but then when they get in the end zone, they have something else. So,
what dance were you gonna do though? Were you gonna do like the nay nay, or what
I don't know. I kind of want to do something. I kind of want to do something more signature. So it's just like me. Like it's like that's Prince. So like the whip dance, everyone knows like that's Odell, but more people started doing it. But like signature is like salsa. Like you don't see anyone else do the salsa dance unless they're trying to make fun of Cruz.
Right.
So I don't know. I might do something that has to do with royalty because my name is Prince. I might do like an African tribal dance or whatever. So I don't know.
Okay. Who was the toughest wide receiver you had to defend in your career?
Up to date right now would have to be Des Bryant.
Des Bryant. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That was
You played him really well, by the way. Tony Romo just had a good day. You played him extremely well.
That leads me to my question. Like, what is it like to defend guys like Calvin Johnson and Des Bryant? Those type of guys. You mentioned Jeremy Maclin.
I mean, if you're prepared, if you think you can guard them, I think it's great because like the spotlight is going to be on you because third down, anytime a team needs a big play, that's where the ball's going. But if you're not prepared and you don't think you can guard them, then I think you're going to lose a lot of sleep at night leading up to the game because I mean those guys have the ability to embarrass you. So you definitely just want to be prepared when you're guarding them.
Okay.
All right. Have you met Coach Spags yet?
No, not yet. But I did. I haven't been in New York in a while. But I did meet my position coach, Coach Tim Walton, when I was there.
Now, Prince, how excited are you to be, getting a chance to work with Coach Spags? Obviously, you were still in college when, back in '07, when he was there. So I know you heard a lot of good things about him. How excited are you to get the chance to work with him this year?
I'm very excited. He was with the Ravens this past year, and just seeing the type of defenses and the type of schemes that he used over there, I'm definitely excited. I'm a man-to-man type of guy, and I feel like that's what he's known for doing. And our former players like Terrell Thomas and Aaron Ross and Corey Webster, they always spoke highly about him. So I'm definitely excited.
So Prince, coming out of Nebraska, there was also a fellow Nebraskan I guess use Zach Bowman on the team. I read in the article that you two guys were pretty close, and he was kind of like a bigger, older brother, you know, kind of like a protector of you. Is that true, or?
Yeah, it is. Zach definitely took me under his wing when I went to Nebraska, and it is funny because our senior year was his senior year was my freshman year, and it wasn't it didn't go as well as we both wanted to. We didn't make it to the Pro Bowl. So what our coaches did, like the last two games, was, you know what, forget this defensive back group. We're gonna sit them on the bench, and we're gonna start these two freshmen, which was me and my boy Anthony Blue. And so it's funny how like the roles kind of changed, because I was looking up to him, and then the last two games it's like he's on the bench watching me.
All right. That leads me to this. Another Nebraska guy, and Ndamukong Suh, free agent.
Yeah.
How much did y'all talk? And do you think Giants would be a good fit for him? Just personally.
I think any team in the NFL would welcome Suh on their team, even the Packers. And but I really don't know what's going to happen. Then I know Suh wants to play in a big city with a big market, and he is signed to Rock Nation, and Rock Nation is in New York. But it's tough. I think it all depends on what we do with JPP, because it doesn't. I mean, I don't know too much about the cap, but it doesn't seem like that we can pay both of them the money that they want. So I think it all depends on what we do with JPP.
Okay. Now, Prince, assuming that Antrell Roll comes back, assuming that Walter Thurman comes back, obviously, you know, to the start of last year, you know, to start the season, you know, the Giants were considered, you know, to possibly have the best, you know, secondary. If everybody comes back, how good can the secondary be in the near future?
Man, I really think that we can be one of the best. I mean, we had that game against the Redskins where we
absolutely
shut them out. Had about 6 or 7 turnovers, and then the week before against the Texans, we had a couple of picks that game too. And then so I think we were on the verge of becoming a great defense, but just like you said, like that injury bug came along, and guys just started dropping in the back end, and it was all like fluke injuries, like a pec, a bicep, a thumb, and stuff like that. So hopefully this year we do have the same group of guys, and we could start up from where we left off.
So, Prince, after the Giants come to see you during the preparation of the combines and different things like that, and you finally, you know, got a chance to talk with them, what did they say to you on your exit interview?
To be honest, I don't really remember, because I don't think they I really don't think that they said too much to me, because I didn't think that they thought I was going to be that low. I was going to be available at number 19. So, and they didn't even fly me out to go check them out, because, like I said, I don't think they thought I was going to be there. So, really didn't spend too much time with them.
Okay. Well, when they gave you a call, what did the coach say to you on the phone?
He Coach Coughlin just said, "Hey, Prince, this is Coach Coughlin, and we're gonna draft you. We're gonna draft you at number 19. Are you excited to be a Giant?" And just say, "Yes, sir. I'm ready to work." And then and that was that. It wasn't too long.
Okay.
But I got one good question for you. What are your thoughts on Odell Beckham Jr. and what is it like going up against him in practice? If you ever did, I don't know if you did.
We've definitely had had our battles. I knew that he was going to be electrifying with the couple of practices that he was in, and he never had a one-hand catch on me yet, and I don't plan on it happening anytime soon.
Okay.
Him getting a one-hand catch is like someone trying to take a charge and getting dunked on in in basketball. So I'll definitely try. I won't take his legs out, but I'll just make sure that that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen to me. But I truly feel like he's the energy that he brings to our team is amazing, and how he turns up after he makes a play is I think all that's great for our team.
Now, to piggyback off of that question, obviously, the first 4 games of the season he didn't play, and when you were a rookie, you were kind of injured. Was there any motivation that you spoke to him about to keep his head up, to keep him positive? Because obviously he missed the first 4 games of the season. Did you say anything to him?
Of course. So he has a hamstring. And well, before that, the thing when you're injured in the NFL is like there's like a plague on you. You're kind of like an outcast. So your guys don't expect you. Guys don't expect you to have fun. Guys don't expect you to smile. Guys want you to feel bad that you're hurt and don't really do anything because you're hurt. So anytime you do just try to interact with the team, it's like, oh, this guy's okay with being hurt. This guy's not practicing. So as for Odell's just himself, like he's a fun guy, and we play music in the locker room. We always have like dance contests and stuff like that. So anytime like he would try to interact, guys would say, oh, you could do this, but you can't practice. Oh, you could dance, but you can't practice, or whatever, just stuff like that. So me and him just kind of had fun with it one time. So he was like clapping his hands, and I said, oh, you can clap your hands, but you can't practice. And stuff like that. So we just had fun with it, and stuff like that. And he knew he already had confidence because the times that he did practice, he was going off and doing great things. So it was just a matter of time for his hamstring to get better, and he was ready to play.
Okay. I got a question from my boy Ray from Tampa. It's a fan question. He asks, do you consider yourself a top 10 cornerback? And what things do you need to do to be a elite cornerback?
Great question. I think right now in my mind, of course, I think I'm a top 10. But I think to the world, not yet, and I don't blame them. I still feel like I have a lot of stuff to prove, and one of them is just being consistent with my playing time on the field. But I definitely do think I have the potential, and I feel like I am a top 10 cornerback. And I think some things I do need to improve is just is continue my ball skills. I think interceptions has a lot to do with being an elite cornerback. For example, Sherman's the least targeted, which means people look at his way the least and throw at him in the least, but for some reason he still has the most interceptions. So when you have a stat like that, it's kind of
huge.
It's huge, and it's kind of tough to argue and say, oh, he's not the best. But then when you have a guy like Revis, who goes wherever you tell him to go and to guard whoever you tell him to go, it's kind and he's successful, and quarterbacks are already afraid to throw at him. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue that he's not elite. And then you have a guy like Patrick Peterson who has the most money in the bank. So you could tell him he's not the top, but he can say, hold on, I'm the highest paid. So hey, you guys could have that. You guys could argue about who's the top, but hey, I got the money signs to to prove it. So I guess it just depends on your formula of what elite is. But I wouldn't mind being in Patrick Peterson's spot with the commas and zeros to prove it.
Right.
Okay. One of my last questions, and I'm going to let my compadres finish it off. Do you want to retire a New York Giant?
Of course. I mean, you see the model that Michael Strahan and the legacy that he has, and Justin Tuck and guys like David Deal. It's like once you're a Giant and once you win as a Giant, there's just so much opportunity, and to retire under this organization is just amazing, and not too much can be said about that. I think it'll be an honor if I get the opportunity to do that.
Awesome.
Most definitely.
Now this upcoming season, I got two things. This upcoming season, can you see the Giants making the playoffs? And I read somewhere that you and your wife are expecting a newborn. So I just wanted to say congratulations to that. So
yes, sir.
Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And how excited are you to becoming a father?
How excited am I for what?
How excited are you to becoming a father? Because I read somewhere that you and your wife are expecting a newborn.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm very excited. I mean, I've seen one of my best friends. He has a newborn, and I was playing with his baby, and it's at first it looks exciting because it's a baby and they make all the noise or whatever. But then like I was tilted back and my back started hurting, and then my arms started getting tired. And it was after 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, I'm done. So, but with my own baby, that's like 24. That's like 24/7. So I think we're definitely not ready, but I don't think anyone's ever ready. And I guess
that's true.
I guess you just handle it as it goes.
But one piece of advice for you, man: take a lot of pictures, man, because they grow up fast.
That's right. Thank you. Okay, good.
And the question that I asked before that was, can you see the Giants making the playoffs and making a run this upcoming season?
Of course, yes. I definitely can. No one really knows, but Eli had his best year ever that he had as a Giant. So and with that, I mean I guess you can compliment Odell because of that, and I think when he has guys like Cruz and Odell at the same time, I think we're going to be scary, and I think when all our guys get back, I think we're going to be a very, very scary team. But like I said, I think it doesn't matter what's on paper. I think we have to go out and prove it.
All right. Just one question. We all have a conversation about this one particular player on the Giants coming out of Newberry College by the name of Corey Washington. What is your perception of him as a wide receiver?
Of who?
Corey Washington.
Corey Washington. Oh, good question. Man, as a teammate or as someone analyzing Corey Washington?
As someone analyzing Corey Washington on a New York Football Giant.
Gotcha. I would say he definitely plays the deep ball well. And like you've seen, like he scored a touchdown every single game that we had in the preseason. So I would say he got that down. Like I would say he got that down. You want, like, if you're on the first or second, if you're on the 1 or 2 yard line and you want to throw up a jump ball, I would say like he should be he should be one of our go-to guys and stuff. But I think and I'm not sure about this, but I think what keeps him off the field would probably be I would say our offensive playbook that might have been too complex. Or maybe just inconsistency catching the rock. But other than that, like I think the Giants have definitely saw flashes of him in practice, and I definitely think he turned it up in preseason. But I think we're all looking for him to carry that over into regular season games.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, how was the locker room during the 7-game losing streak, and how did Coach Coughlin keep everybody on the right track?
Well, that's a good question. I would say, man. So the year before, I mean, I think we were on a losing streak, and I think we still had like the same guys in there, keeping guys together, and Coach Coughlin. And the games we were losing, it's not like the other team was just beating us. I think we kept beating ourselves, and so I think that's another reason why we stayed in it, because we knew the other team wasn't better than us. We knew that we just kept beating ourselves. So the fact that we still had that confidence, I think that kept us in it. And Coach Coughlin always just kept saying, like, keep following the process, keep sticking to the game plan, and I think our leaders like Eli and Antrell, who kept preaching the same message. I think all that worked.
Okay. Now, in your opinion, what position should the Giants go after in the first round of the 2015 draft?
Well, one position I know they shouldn't go is corner.
Okay,
that's a good one, Prince.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's tough. I would say a safe bet would be maybe a defensive lineman, or no, I would say an offensive lineman for sure. The more guys you can get to surround and protect Eli and let Eli work, I think that's going to help the team, because I think the most important position that makes a team successful is definitely the quarterback. So if he's comfortable in the pocket and letting the ball fly, I think that makes all of us successful.
Okay.
Now, how confident do you think JPP and Antrell re-signs with the Giants? And did they have any kind of indications that they want to come back to the Giants?
Yeah, I would say I think both of them wants to come back. I think both of them wants to come back, but I don't know. Like I think it just all depends on money, on if someone wants to take a pay cut, if because JPP is hitting the market. So I mean the Giants are gonna give him their best offer, and then and other teams are gonna give him their best offer. So and I think JPP already made it public that he's not giving a hometown discount, and he said something like, "Does Macy's give you a discount or something like that?" But so I don't know. I think it just all depends on who wants to take a discount.
Okay.
All right, I got two more questions for you, then we're gonna let you go, Prince. The first one being, because I asked Jay Brahma this a couple of weeks ago, can we expect to see you in the Pro Bowl next season?
Yes. If things go the way I want it, I would say definitely yes.
Okay. And the Super Bowl just ended, and I remember that your first year in the NFL, you went to the Super Bowl. Can you tell us how that experience was for you, being your first year?
Man, I definitely took it for granted. It went so fast. I didn't get to soak it up as much as I used to, because it's my first year, and I'm thinking, okay, every year is going to be like this. But we haven't even been to the playoffs since then. So I really wish I would have took. I really wish I wouldn't have taken it for granted, and but it was truly amazing. There was, all I remember is a lot of lights. I remember Katy Perry being there, and I remember us winning. Of course, I was actually in on the last play. In on the last play, and where they threw the Hail Mary, and that was scary, because all of us didn't do our assignments right.
Prince, we were all scared. We were all nervous. It wouldn't come down.
Straight up, heart jumping out the chest.
Exactly. So most of us there's only supposed to be one jumper in a Hail Mary defense, one jumper, and everyone else is supposed to box out their guys like basketball. But we practice that every week. But when it really comes, it's like everyone wants to be the hero. Everyone wants to make the winning interception and go for the ball, which we all did. And if you remember, Gronkowski almost caught it off of a tip, but Antrell came and cleaned them up. So we're excited about that.
All right. Hey, Prince, we appreciate you coming on the Shakedown and spending some time with us, man. Maybe we can do it again in the future.
For real.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Take care.
Enjoy your night.